Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah, Quadash, and a sincere salutations to the elect, the Tabernacle of David, you Akim, pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in all truth, faith, and sincerity, and also a healthy shalom to the few Akwath who are listening and learning. And Lord's willing, this lesson be edifying and straight to the point. And I want to touch on this a little bit of this article from Zero Hedge. And before I dive into the article, I just want to say that with all the sedition and civil unrest taking place throughout the four corners of the earth, it's only going to be a matter of time before these governments, these police officers, these people in authority whose job it is to restore order, are going to start to use live ammunition on the people, on the citizens, okay? In the spirit or the guise of restoring order. It's only a matter of time, all right? Because things are going to continue to get worse and worse. Now, let's dive into this article. It says, American Turkish activists shot and killed by Israeli force in West Bank. Israel's IDF military has been engaged in an intense 10-day operation in the West Bank, which, in the last several days, has been heavily focused on counter-terror operations in Jenin. The Palestinian Health Ministry has said at least 36 Palestinians have been killed during what is widely being described as the IDF's biggest operation in the West Bank in years. There are now fears that the situation could become like the Gaza Strip. The deteriorating situation has attracted the great scrutiny of Washington after, on Friday, 26-year-old American Turkish human rights activist Ayşenur Egi was reportedly gunned down by Israeli soldiers. Eyewitnesses near the scene of her death described that Israeli forces used live ammunitions on a large group of protesters. So from here, let's jump down to about right here. And there's a picture of the woman that passed away. So right here it says Israel's military says it is investigating the shooting, but a statement also appeared to own up to it. The Israeli military stated that during a violent public disorder, stones were thrown at IDF forces, who responded by shooting at the lower body of the main instigator of the rioters. Okay? So they were shooting. This is the IDF statement. They were shooting at the lower body of a person who threw a stone at them and hit this woman in the head. You see? Oh, man. So anyway, that's enough of this article. You get the gist of it. Okay? So let's get Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. And it reads, For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And let's get the etymon of this word misery. It says misery. It says state of grievous affliction, conditions of external unhappiness, miserable situation, misfortune, distress, wretchedness. And here in America, Babylon the Great, we're one false flag event away from all these things taking place. All right. People are already at wit's end. Unprecedented things are taking place every time we turn on the news. So it should be very easy to see if you're paying attention and you're watching. So let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and we're going to start at verse 14. It reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And what's the modern day sword? All right, guns. "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes." Right. They're not going to care about the people in authority, especially when those people in authority start using live rounds on the civilians. Because it's going to come to a point after enough of that, the civilians are going to pick up arms, especially here in America, where there's more guns than people. All right. And it's a perfect scenario, a perfect powder keg scenario. So it reads, "And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power." Okay? It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." And it's definitely not far-fetched, this happening in America, because a scenario like this happened similarly during Katrina.
Today in New Orleans, they got a lot tougher on the holdouts.
Police department, anyone home?
Not only the flooded areas, but New Orleans' driest and wealthiest neighborhoods, too.
Police department!
The police and National Guard going street by street, house to house.
We need to make sure, too, that whenever we knock on doors, people refuse to leave. We need to make note, call it in.
They say there are no orders to use force, just strong persuasion, sometimes entering open houses with guns drawn, and instructions to disarm anyone inside.
You say guns will be taken?
No one will be able to be armed. We will take all weapons.
That happened today in this wealthy neighborhood where homeowners had armed themselves to protect their mansions. Residents were handcuffed on the ground. In the end, police took their weapons but let them stay in their homes.
They were a little bit threatened because our weapons were bigger than their weapons.
For many of the police and guard troops, it is an uncomfortable job to do this in an American city.
Yeah, you never expect to do this in your own country.
Chris Montgomery says he'd rather be in Iraq than patrolling American neighborhoods.
Walking up and down these streets, you don't want to think about the stuff that you're going to have to do if somebody pops around the corner.
Be shooting in America.
Yeah.
I don't want you in here, period. But there's a mandatory evacuation. I know all about it. Well,
So as you can see, that took place during Hurricane Katrina. And there's going to come a point in time where your constitution is going to mean absolutely nothing. When Revelation 12:12 takes effect, when this devil comes down with great wrath, none of that is going to mean anything. All right. There's going to be martial law. You're not going to be able to move to, about to any city, as you once could. All right. You're not going to be able to freely pick up the phone and call people or freely get on the internet and do things. All right. A complete change of the way of life is about to take place, man. OK. And it's coming. It is coming. And you people are going to be in for the shock of your lives, man. Just like the clip that I played in the beginning, when shit gets real, y'all are going to lose y'all minds. Y'all are not going to be able to fathom what's about to take place. So it's best to get your mind prepared, to get right with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, repent. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, so you can have a hedge of protection around you during these times to come, because it's about to get real. But anyway, Lord's willing, that was edifying. Shalom, Israel. Wa abad babal.